Cramer: the bad trade news is partially baked in, but the sell-off isn't over. CNBC said Thursday that Chinese and American leaders have little incentive to make a trade deal, and that Wall Street is adjusting to its new normal. Traders are realizing that there will be no good news on US-China trade relations in the near future, and the negative news is beginning to bake into the cake, he said. That explains Thursday's market declines. The Dow Jones Industrial Average shed more than 286 points, the S&P 500 shaved off 1.19%, and the Nasdaq Composite fell 1.58%. The oil and bond market is telling investors to be careful, Cramer said. He noted that that's the kind of news the market needs to issue a bottom, but it's not quite there yet in the equities market, Cramer said. Shares of Apple plunged 1.71% on Thursday, but the stock needs to go much lower for the negativity to be fully baked in, Cramer said. The iPhone maker, unless Trump loves tariffs and is convinced that the Chinese will pay the price for the 25% tax on $200 billion worth of imports, Cramer said. The stock market, Questions for Cramer? Call Cramer 1.
Raindrop, drop top, smoking, no cooking the hot pot. Fucking on your bitch, yeah, that. Looking up, open the park pot.